Hello everyone, it is good to see you. It is good to be back. It has been a long time, and if you are wondering where did I go? Well, I was here. What are you talking about? I have been working on my master's degree, and so it was just a lot to do, so I thought I would just take a hiatus for a bit. And so I'm still currently in the midst of getting it, but I'm on winter break, so I thought now's a good time to maybe throw in a video here. I've still been kind of thinking through things and working through things, but I just haven't been documenting it. So what I have for you today is, I kind of feel silly, I guess, putting out videos. I mean, I felt silly the whole time because I felt like this is not new information. Everybody knows these things, but I suppose it was more for me to like kind of kick myself in the butt and get in gear to do these things, to kind of think through these things, versus to actually put out some new material into the world. Because I know you can be searching for any of these topics and find a plethora of videos and articles all about this. Today's video is going to be about emotions as a driver. So as I've been analyzing my emotions and thinking about them and accepting them and trying to figure out, is this something that I need to kind of analyze even deeper because it's bringing up something deep, I've realized how powerful emotions really are. And I know that a lot of you will be thinking, well, duh. But it's not something I've necessarily have acknowledged and honored. And so a couple things that have happened to me that kind of really put it into perspective about this whole emotions and using emotions to move you. And that's really where I want to focus on. I know that emotions can be used for a lot of things, but emotions as a driver to get your butt in gear, because that's what I need to hear a lot. A lot of times I will not do something, I will avoid something, I will put off something because I'm just not feeling it. If I'm not feeling it, then I'm not going to do it. And so in that sense, I'm using my emotions to validate my inactivity, my laziness, my fill in the blank of what I'm, trying to do instead of doing the thing. But, and so here I am using the emotions, and I'm kind of using it in a way where it's driving me into nothing, into just placating the things that I want to be doing, which is not the things that maybe I should be doing. But if I then turn it around and now use it to drive me forward into maybe a different spot, then I'll be using my emotions for good rather than for evil. A few months ago, I was going to take Sola to the vet, and whenever I have to take Sola to the vet, it's a little bit daunting because the parking lot situation is horrible, and it's unfortunate because it's a great vet, but the parking is minimal. There's not many spots, and then on top of that, some of the spots are very difficult to get into. And I had a really bad experience in the past where it kind of put me in a bad spot. I kind of freaked out a little bit. It involved another car, and thankfully there was no accident or anything, but it really put a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to this whole parking lot thing. See, I'm rocking, I'm getting nervous, even thinking about it right now. And so I've been super controlling then about when I go. I put a lot of rules in place in order for this to happen, because there is I don't want to feel controlled by by the situation. And so I'm gonna take control of this, gosh darn it. So I'll only go when it's like very early in the morning, when I make sure nobody else is there, or I even know in my head, okay, when I pass by it, I'm gonna look and see, are there spots there? And then if there's not, I mentally prepare, what am I gonna do next? And it's like, I go through all these like things just to avoid this negative. So all these emotions are driving me to do these things just because I was in a negative spot. And so that is showing how, I mean, we all have these stories where like there's this negative emotion, this emotion that made us not feel so good, where now we're gonna do all these things to avoid the thing that made us feel that way. What I ended up doing, I took control, I should say, not in a demon state where when it was like, man, I'm going to do this and do this and do, and I'm like all tense and I'm coming up with all these rules that I'm gonna be doing. I saw an opportunity when there wasn't the stress of like other cars, let's say, and you know, coming into a similar situation where I was put into and forced into by this other person. I don't have any animosity towards that person. So it was a moment in time when there was nothing to lose, because there was not a horrible situation around me. I had complete control over what I could do. And I will say that, okay, so just so you can get a little bit of a picture, there's a front parking lot and the back parking lot. And the front parking lot is very small and usually gets taken up. And then in my head, I'm like, I will never park in the back, because that's where the precarious situation happened. And so I ended up parking in the back because I could see that there was nobody there. And I thought, this is the perfect opportunity then to take advantage of not feeling the stress of everybody around me, and not feeling the stress of, you're gonna be in the way, and my car's in the way, and what do I do, and how do I back up and reverse, and all the things. I could nonchalantly then take my time. I didn't have to feel pressured. I could park in the back however I wanted to, because there was nobody else in the back. And so I was like, I'm gonna do it. I backed into the spots. I had the best spot in the back. I actually parked in the back. I backed into the back parking spot. I did all the things, and I was so pumped up. I was so pumped up, and literally not joking. I was like, remember this feeling, remember this feeling. I got out of my car and I was dancing and I was putting my hands up in the air. Remember this feeling. And then I looked to the side and I was like, oh, there's a camera. Hello. Yep, I just did that. But that moment and that feeling that I got from conquering all those things that had stymied me in the past made me feel freaking great. And that was something I wanted to remember, because we do tend to remember the negative emotions a lot more than we remember the positive emotions. And so this was a positive emotion moment that I wanted to keep in the back of my head. And I will do that now, sometimes in my head, sometimes like literally I will just say, remember this feeling, because I want to remember that feeling. I want to have more of those feelings happen, and not just like avoidance. The feeling of avoidance and putting something off, sure, it feels good in the moment, but then it always bites you in the butt. Like maybe not that day, maybe not that week, but at some point it's gonna bite you in the butt, and then it doesn't feel good. Since that moment, I've been using that as a driver. That emotion, that positive feeling, that and remembrance of it to push me forward into situations that maybe I will not feel maybe as comfortable in the beginning. Remember this feeling. That's what I tell myself. So the other aspect of like using emotions to drive me is when I feel like, and it kind of is, it's kind of along the same lines where I'm gonna try, I'm attempting to put something off, but then it's like, no, I need to stop putting that thing off, whatever that is. And so I then become the drill sergeant in my mind. What are you doing right now? You need to be doing this. You got it. You can do this. You need to do it right now. It won't take very long. Do it, do it, do it. Just do it. So yeah, that emotion, that's kind of like a, how would you, that would be like an energetic emotion where it's like, no, don't go into like this funk of I'll do it later, but it's more like, you got this. You got this, girl. You can do this. You need to do this right now. The last mantra that I have that kind of goes along with this, so it's the same thing as remember this feeling and just do it, is work first, then boba. And I will tell myself that sometimes, but then I have some signs around the house that say it in different places to remind me. And then when Chris says it, every so often, he doesn't say it very often, but when he does, and it's like, that's right, okay, I need to do it. It's kind of like a reward system to get you to do the thing that you don't want to do. So as I was editing for this video, I realized that this statement was a lot bigger than what I gave it credit for, because ultimately that's what this whole thing is about. The emotions as drivers to do something, because your reward is bigger than just the reward, the simple reward of putting something off. The good feeling that you get for putting something off or for not doing something because you're afraid of whatever it is very short-term and fleeting, and it will never be exponentially better than it could ever be had you just push through. And that's what these mantras that I've kind of accumulated, that's what they're doing. If you're remembering the feeling, and if you are first working and then boba, and even the just do it drill sergeant, all those things are pushing you more towards a bigger, stronger, better feeling, and that's the reward that you'll get. So ultimately, all of these particular sentiments are kind of, for me, something that I need to do in order to push my emotions into a state of action, movement, doing something, putting myself out there, etc., etc. So it could be maybe something that I'm a little nervous about. So rather than avoid the thing that I'm nervous about, then it's like, remember this feeling, you can do this. Or it's an avoidance because the thing is just maybe boring, or I don't want to do it because I'm a child, but I need to do it because I'm an adult. And here out comes a drill sergeant. You can do it, just do it. It won't take very long. Don't wait, do it now. Hence the work first, then boba. When in the moment. Now here's the part where I'm still working on, because these all things all come to me after the fact. Of course, I'm now reflecting on it, and then it's like, oh yeah, this is what's happening. In the moment, feeling and analysis is just not really happening as often, and so that is what I would like to work on then. So I need to take a moment and just kind of lay it out. Is it okay to feel the way I'm feeling? Is it okay to feel nervous? Is it okay to feel like this is boring and I don't want to do it? Yes, it is okay to feel those things. Those things are valid. I mean, it might be something that makes me nervous. It might be something that is super boring. It may not be, but it doesn't matter. That's how I feel about it at that time. So it's okay to feel that way, but do I let that feeling stop me from movement? Is that nervous feeling gonna stop me from sharing what I feel at the staff meeting because I feel like it's an important point to make, but you know, now I'm talking to 20 people and I'm really nervous about it. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes I need to push through it and remember the feeling after I share it and I feel like, oh, I did it. Maybe I am coming to a point where it's like, I don't really want to put the clothes away right now. I want to watch another YouTube video. And so rather than telling myself I'll do it later, it'll be, no, just do it now. You can do it, it won't take very long, you can do it. And then I get to remember the feeling of feeling accomplished, that I did it, that I didn't put it off, because you know what, if I put it off today, most likely I'll put it off tomorrow and I'll just keep putting it off. And that's not good. I need to just do it. And I know that was something I had said a long time ago in one of my videos. I said, well, how do you do it? You just do it. And so I've kind of come full circle and I'm realizing it again. Yes, that is the answer. You just do it. It's not an easy, I mean, it's a simple answer, but it's not easy to do. And who says that? I think it's Mel Robbins, I think. Or she says it, but I don't know like who originally said it. Simple is not easy. And that's exactly what we have going on here. It is simple, yes, but it's not easy because, you know, you have all these things pulling you in other directions rather than doing the thing that maybe you want to do, but then you're afraid to do, or it's too boring to do, or whatever. So that's what I got for this video. We have emotions that we can use to drive us into the direction that we want to go. And so I'm really good. No, I'm really glad to see you. I have been missing making videos and talking to you guys, and I hope that you have some time to leave a comment and tell me how you're doing. It's the new year, so I wish you a happy new year. And well, actually, who knows when you'll see this, but I will still wish you a happy new year, happy year, happy any time of year. And with that, I say goodbye.